My name is Aaron Bonilla.
Hello, my name is Andrew Field.
My name is Luis Gomez.
I'm part of the Suspension Test Vehicle Dynamic Sub-Team of Cal State Northridge's Matador Motorsports team.
I'm a part of the Controls and Data Acquisition team here at California State University Northridge, part of the Matador Motorsports.
And I'm part of the suspension team for Matador Motorsports.
And I would like to formally express my gratitude to FUTEK for the support they are lending this year's Shock Dyno team in order to iterate off of last year's Shock Dyno design. One of the main goals for this year's Shock Dyno team was to overhaul last year's Shock Dyno design and switching the equipment they used for data acquisition. We fulfilled this goal by switching the generic load cell that the previous years purchased online to the FUTEK's LSB302 load cell for more precise force data. We can then use this force data to graph a force versus velocity plot to see the damping coefficient of our shocks. And then we can then tune our shocks to the damping coefficient that we want based on our quarter model.
For our Shock Dyno project, I was responsible for the main assembly design. The goal was to create a setup that allows the dampers to be changed quickly without needing to recalibrate or reset the CNC machine every time. The assembly consists of 2 rear shafts and 2 linear fixed bearings attached to 2 main mounting fixtures. This setup was intended to reduce friction and improve alignment, which not only makes the system smoother but also reduces human error during operation.
Today we're working on our Shock Dyno, so we're using FUTEK's load cell, the LSB302, as well as their amplifier, the IAA100, as well as our accompanied microprocessor. So our end goal of this is to get a damping coefficient for the Matador Motorsports suspension team. So right here we have our MATLAB app designer where we will display shock force versus velocity as well as the potentiometer displacement versus time, and hopefully be able to tune the shocks this year.
So an overview of how we get our data. Here we have our Shock Dyno jig, where we then place it into our Haas VF4 5-axis CNC machine, where when grabbing onto the top load of our FUTEK load cell, we'll then press onto it, which will simulate a bump scenario of our suspension, and then we'll then pull on it to simulate rebound travel of our suspension, which will then, with FUTEK, we gather the force data, our linear potentiometer will gather the velocity data, and then we can then calculate our damping coefficients of our shocks.
Go. That was good.
Okay, so now going over the post-process data that we got from our Shock Dyno testing, here you can see the three columns that contain our data: the velocity data from our potentiometer, the force data from the load cell, the FUTEK load cell, and of course our positional data again from the potentiometer. And from this data, we can then do our force versus velocity plot, which allows us to see the characteristics of our shocks and of course any hysteresis that is present within the shocks. And you can tell there is some hysteresis occurring within our shocks, but mainly we want to see the slope of the curve in order to determine our low speed and high speed damping. From this plot, we can see that the knee velocity, which is the transition from low speed to high speed damping, is occurring around 0.5 inches per second. And from there, when we calculate the slope between when there's no force and 0 velocity to this knee velocity, we get a low speed damping of around 75.8 pound seconds per inch. And then from the knee point to the very tip of the plot, we can get our high speed damping, which is calculated to be 22.4 pound seconds per inch. For this shock and damping coefficient, it's a bit too high for the purposes that we are using for our vehicle. So therefore, we will need to reduce the low speed and high speed damping. But thanks to our shock jig, we can actually tune our shocks to actually get the damping coefficients that we want.